Well, I just want to say on behalf of all of us that we are really excited to be here. I've really enjoyed the last couple of days, especially the weather. So whoever was in charge of that, we appreciate that. No, it's an exciting time for us, and obviously there's a lot of changes that are going on within our program, but for right now, the most important thing is about these guys and about the ability to finish out this season. This is what bowls are all about. It's a celebration. It's a way to kind of finish up a season and obviously reflect a little bit on that, but to celebrate what it is that these guys have done and the sacrifices that they've made. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And so I appreciate these guys and all that they've done in the last few weeks of kind of welcoming me to this and a part of their program and part of this new family, and really excited about getting this thing kicked off here on Tuesday night.
If you have any questions, please raise your hand so we can get a microphone to you. Any questions? Over here on the far left.
Do we do a name, please?
Yes, name and outlet, please.
Colton Bartholomew, Wisconsin State Journal. Luke, when you go through these last few weeks of practices and you're learning this team, learning these guys, what has been the biggest thing that stood out to you about how this team prepares and goes about going about a game with all the circumstances around it?
Well, I don't know if I've set it enough, but the maturity is probably the number one thing that jumps out at me. From just sitting down with a few of these guys in the first few days, the true culture, the love, the commitment to one another that doesn't change no matter who's standing or sitting up here or who's standing in front of the room or who's leading the program. The reality is the locker room is very strong, and their ability to be pros and handle all these things that they've had to go through this entire season. They've been through a lot, and I mean that just with different leadership and different things that have gone on, and then a new one now to kind of embrace and kind of take me in and teach me the way that they've done things and the way that they do things over the last 3 weeks. I think it takes a really mature group and a group that's really committed to one another to be able to handle what they've handled and they continue to handle.
We have a question here, center right.
Jesse Temple, The Athletic. Luke, you've talked a lot about trying to build relationships pretty quickly with these guys. What sort of methods have you used to try and do that? Is it a lot of one-on-one meetings in your office? Are you going somewhere else? How do you
it started off that way. There hasn't been nearly as much time to get outside. I don't know if these guys would tell you in Madison. I don't know that there's a whole lot of right now the last couple of days to get outside. Hey, let's go do something outside in Madison. Is probably not the thing the last 4 or 5 days, but. And they've been busy with finals. They've been busy with the prep for the bowl and things like that. So it's been more of just within the the confines of the facility, being around them, being at practice, trying to give them a glimpse of who I am and what I'm all about. And it's not something that just happens overnight. It's not something that happens in one meeting, sitting down in your office. But it's hopefully something that will continue to happen over these past 3 weeks, and for sure going all the way through this winter and into the spring.
We'll take one more question here on the left.
Robert Allen with the Cowboy Sports Network, and I know your December has been ultra busy, but being on the other side of it with Mike Gundy, same thing, between signing day, portal in, portal out, trying to figure out who's going to play in the bowl and who isn't. Has this changed everything for bowl games?
I think it's kind of the new wave right now. I think this is what bowl season will really be more like, until maybe we get a grasp on some of these things and maybe a timing to how we do things in college sports in particular. But I think it's really what bowls are going to look like are the glimpse of the future. And where bowls used to be kind of the finality and kind of finishing things out. And a lot of times those guys' last opportunity to play in the colors that they play in and they've been committed to. And I think a little bit more now that it's kind of like, hey, this is a glimpse of what the future looks like. There are going to be some names and some faces out there that maybe some don't recognize and maybe didn't play as much during the year, but they're going to be the faces of the following season in the future. And for a coach, I think you just got to embrace what it is and the way that you're going to prepare your team and how you're going to continue to move your program forward. And so for me, in that grasp, it's like, okay, this is the start of the beginning, and I'm here and I'm a part of it. In a different way, obviously, than maybe Coach Gundy, but the reality is I want to be a part of it, and I think this is what the program will look like going forward.